Tonight, the big Flyers draft and big Flyers draft party down in Atlantic City. I believe our next guest will be there. He, of course, is a former producer of the Mike Missanelli Show, and we made Magic Radio back in the day. We used to have a segment called the Hockey Minute, where I would actually try to last more than 30 seconds. But now we're going to have a big conversation because he is, of course, a hockey expert. He is Jason Myrtetus joining us. Jay Martinez, what's happening?
Michael, brevity is the soul of wit. That's going to be the hockey segment.
There you go. No, we're going to have a long segment here. Now, first of all, let me just tell the people, Jason is currently fighting a battle against cancer, and just know that our warmest thoughts are with you, brother. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I had my 18th radiation treatment this morning, and I'm with you now, and I'm going to head down to Atlantic City for the draft party tonight. We're grinding along. It's not the most fun, obviously, not something I had on my bingo card, as the kids like to say these days, Michael. But we're grinding, and we're going to keep pushing until we put this thing in the rearview mirror.
That's a great attitude, and I like the fact that you're calling me Michael because you're recollecting.
Tendering you up.
Yeah, well, like back in the day, Steve-O. You're bringing Steve-O back to me here. Oh, yeah, Michael.
But only when you're misbehaving do you go to Michael, which I have found is quite often.
Yeah, well, that's, what are you going to do? All right, let's talk some hockey here. The Flyers with 3 picks in the first round, Jason, the big one being number 6. And, of course, the names that are bandied about, they're all centers. And what Danny Briere said, he said, these teams are probably going to make the decision for us because they're all about the same, and we'll sit there with the 6th pick, and who's ever there we'll take. So, but I want you to pin down here. There are 2 major prospects that I think are the favorites, Jake O'Brien and James Hagan. Where would you go here?
Well, if Hagan's is available, that's probably where I would go because of the pedigree of the skill and the talent that's there. Yeah, he's a little small-ish. I'm not going to say he's small-ish. And O'Brien's a taller guy, but has a ton of filling out to do. He's a beanpole right now. And that's the thing you got to remember. Like, these are kids. Like these kids, when they're drafted, they're not shaving yet for the most part. They don't have hair under their pits yet. So they're kids. They got a lot of growing up to do.
Well, thank you for that reference. Now I'm trying to imagine.
Well, they are. I mean, you see them for the first. You've been there. You see young hockey.
I haven't seen their pits.
Well,
but, yeah.
But you see them, you're like, oh my God, they're so young.
Yeah, I get you.
But so if Hagan's is there, I would go Hagan's. Now there's a lot of scuttlebutt going around now that the Islanders, who have the number 1 overall pick and will take Matthew Schaefer number 1, want to get up and also take James Hagan's because he's from the island. He's from Hapog. So they want to bring, the hometown hero to be an Islander and get them back to their legendary form of the 4 straight cups in the early 80s.
So are you saying the Flyers could trade right out of that spot?
I don't know if the Flyers would, but maybe they try and trade with Nashville or Utah to do that.
Ahead of the Flyers.
And jump the Flyers if they believe the Flyers are going to take them. So that's where I would go. But, I think there's going to be some wild cards tonight. There's going to be a guy drafted in the top 4 that nobody saw coming, maybe another defenseman. Or you could see a guy like Martone, the right winger, slip. And if he slips and he's available to the Flyers, I would take him because I think he's the best player available with the limited scouting skill set that I have. But I think you take the best player available. If that's a center and you have a decision between either Jake O'Brien, Hagan's, and maybe a Denoye, I would probably go Hagan's in that situation.
Caleb Denoye. So tell me about O'Brien a little bit. Bigger guy, right?
Yeah, excellent playmaker. Sees the ice incredibly well. But like I said, he's got a ton of filling out to do. What his route to the NHL will look like remains to be seen because he's got to put on a lot of muscle to be able to play in that league and kind of level up. So he's probably the best pure playmaker in the draft, which you need. But you also need guys that can put the puck in the net. You need scorers. That's the hardest thing to do. I know nobody wants to hear, a 200-foot player, Flyers, if Denoye was the guy. Those guys are important, too, and you saw the importance of that in the Cup final with a guy like Barkov really limiting what McDavid and Draisaitl did against the Panthers the last couple of years and how important that is. So, and then size is the other big thing that people are looking for now because of the Panthers. So guys like Roger McQueen are maybe up in value because they're a little bit physically bigger than some of the other guys like Hagan's. Even though O'Brien's tall, he's still slight.
Right winger, Porter Martone is the right winger you're talking about.
Yeah, big boy.
I would like. Is he Italian? Martone.
Martone.
We call him Marone.
Tone. What do you say, Tone?
Yeah. Well, I want them to grab him. I'm going to go, Manon, look at Martone. All right, so let's talk about this Flyers and this rebuild situation that they're going through right now. And, it was going to take some time. I think Hextall tried to do the same thing, and then now this regime is how would you assess their progress right now?
Well, I mean, they've done the part so far that is relatively easy to do. It's the subtraction part. You find the pieces that either don't fit your timeline, don't fit your culture, don't fit the talent that you need, and you subtract them. It's easy to subtract them, but it's hard to, get good value in that subtraction process. That's where Danny Briere's done well. They had the 3 first-round picks this year, had 4 second rounds, has 3 now. They're in a position where they kind of weaponized cap, where they'll have more dead money coming off the cap next year and being a really good cap situation for the first time in a long time. Pretty good now, but even better next summer. So that's the hard part. Everybody knows you want to get rid of pieces, but getting value for what you get rid of is the hard part. He's done a good job with that. But now comes the fun part, Mike. This is the part where you start building and you start adding more skill to the roster, adding an identity to the roster. You saw a little bit of that with the Zegras trade the other day to add some skill to the lineup, and that'll certainly help the power play, which has been.
Do you like Zegras? Do you like him?
There's been a lot of sizzle, Mike, but not a lot of steak just yet. He had a couple of good years and a couple of down years, some injuries. He's got the skill. I'm going to need to see more on a day-to-day basis and how he kind of works at the game on and off the ice and those things to really get a better sense. He's got the skill. There's no doubt about it. He's got 2 60-point seasons under his belt by the time he was 22. So there's something there. Now it's going to be incumbent upon Rick Tocchet and his teammates to elevate his game again, get it back to that level, maybe beyond.
We're talking to Jason Myrtetus on the Flyers. He'll be at the draft party tonight. The situation in goal is problematic. So how do you think they assess that this year?
Well, I think you definitely draft a goalie at some point, maybe even with one of those early second-round picks if a high-level goalie slips. They have some guys in the system, but you know what? Goaltending development is like voodoo. You just don't know how it's going to ever pan out for guys and when it's going to pan out. They have a Russian guy, Yegor Zavagin, that had a really good year in the Continental Hockey League, but he's still a ways away. And they have Carson Bjarnason, who'll play his first year in the AHL this year as well. But you can't go into the season, Mike, with what they had last year. You can't just let if you want to move forward, you can't let goaltending just undo you game in and game out the way it did last year. Ersson, I think, is still a part of it, but they got to find somebody to be in tandem with him, whether that's through free agency and you go for a guy like Jake Allen, or you go in the trade market and you look at a Thatcher Demko or John Gibson, which I'm not advocating. There's not a lot out there when it comes to goaltending, but they got to do something to upgrade it, and I think Danny Briere absolutely knows that.
Let me ask you this question, and this is because I know people are asking this question. If Carter Hart gets out from under this whole legal situation, would the Flyers consider bringing him back in the system?
You know, I don't know, and that's kind of taking the easy way out on the answer. What I do know is this: is that even prior to this, his leave and everything that's gone along with it. I think he was looking to move on at that time, and he pretty much articulated to me because a goaltender wants to win. You only get one career, and his numbers are sideways because he's playing on a rebuilding team. It's hard to, get the good contract and those kind of things. I think there would have to be obviously some conversations and a sell job on the plan if ownership approved it. If Brian Roberts and ownership did approve that he come back, because. Whether he's exonerated or I think in Canada they don't find you not guilty, but they.
I just think there would be so much of a taint they probably wouldn't bring him back. So, but I just wanted to ask the question. I know you did an extensive study on the NBA drafts. So how do you think the Sixers made out, Jason?
I mean, I'm wondering where they're going, Mike. I saw a report the other day that they were considering trading Embiid. George and Maxey. I'm thinking, what the heck who are they going to load manage?
Yeah, they're not trading to Maxey.
They didn't trade him, and you just extended him last year. So
and they're not trading Embiid to George either. They're coming back with the same bullets. So we'll see what happens.
Like you said earlier, Mike, and you're getting yourself some hot water with the organization over there with the Sixers.
They're not happy with me. I wouldn't be happy with me. Right? I wouldn't be happy with me.
Where's it going, though?
I'm ripping into them pretty good, so I wouldn't be happy with them. I get it. This is the way this business goes sometimes. You know that.
Yeah, look, it happens, and you got to be honest about it. And I have the same questions you do. I just wonder where the heck it's leading.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. I don't think it's leading anywhere this year. Jason, listen, all the best to you, and have fun down there tonight. We'll look forward to talking to you again up the road.
No doubt about it. It's great to talk to you, Mike, and everybody enjoy the draft tonight and have a great weekend.
There he is, the great Martinez. We'll take a break. 610-632-0975. It's how you get in if you want to climb into the home stretch on a Friday. If you're driving down the shore, love to talk to you. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. If you want more from the Mike Missanelli Show, somewhere on this screen, there is somewhere where you can hit the playlist. Keep interacting with us.